In the current global scenario, where the Middle East once again appears to be standing on the brink of intense geographical, political, and military tension, the ongoing conflict between the United States and Iran is no longer merely a bilateral disagreement. Rather, it has escalated into a complex, multi layered crisis in which regional powers, the global economy, energy markets, and major diplomatic players are all being drawn in and impacted at one level or another. Against the backdrop of the Iran war, Pakistan's role is emerging prominently as that of a trusted mediator in whom both parties are expressing considerable confidence, and this very development is also presenting it globally as an emerging middle power capable of creating balance in complex conflicts. Whatever proposals Iran and the United States need to convey to the other side for ending the war are being communicated only through Pakistan, which is clear proof of the significance of the God gifted state of Pakistan. According to recent developments, efforts toward peace negotiations between the United States and Iran once again appear to have stalled, as both sides are accusing each other of imposing unrealistic and unacceptable demands. At the same time, the rising tensions in the Strait of Hormuz have shaken global energy markets, which has not only made regional security uncertain, but has also heightened pressure on the world economy. The Iran war continues with the United States and its allies exerting pressure on Iran, while Iran remains firm in its position and is pursuing a strategy of resistance. In this context, President Trump declared Iran's latest peace proposal completely unacceptable without any clear reason, while Iranian state media described the American plan as tantamount to compromising Iran's sovereignty, making it clear that both parties have still been unable to agree on any common starting point. The economic effects of this tension have also become immediately evident, as skyrocketing crude oil prices are a clear indication that the closure of the Strait of Hormuz or restricted traffic has become a serious threat to the global supply chain, with reports emerging that tankers are even switching off their trackers to conceal their identities while passing through this waterway. Meanwhile, other countries in the region are also being directly affected by this crisis, with the UAE intercepting two drones coming from Iran, Doha condemning a drone attack on a cargo aircraft within its airspace, and Kuwait also activating its air defense system and neutralizing hostile drones, making it clear that this conflict is no longer limited to just two states, but has become a threat to the security of the entire Gulf region. On the European front as well, diplomatic activity is intensifying, with European Union foreign ministers in Brussels discussing both war and peace scenarios. At the same time, political pressure is increasing within the United States as public opinion surveys indicate that this war is becoming unpopular among American voters, particularly at a time when the upcoming elections could alter control of Congress, further complicating Washington's domestic politics. At the same time, another important diplomatic development is the preparation for a meeting between the American leadership and the President of China, where the Iran conflict will also be part of the agenda. This indicates that the crisis is no longer merely regional but has become an issue tied to the balance of global powers, while countries such as China and Russia are also being considered as potential guarantors of any possible agreement. As Iranian diplomatic circles have also pointed out, that without guarantees from major powers, adherence to any agreement would be difficult. In this entire scenario, Pakistan's role has assumed extraordinary importance as the Pakistani leadership, particularly at the military and diplomatic levels, has repeatedly indicated that Pakistan is prepared to play a mediating role for peace and stability in the region. In this context, an important speech by Field Marshal Asim Munir had suggested that the number of Pakistan's friendly countries is increasing, its global credibility is improving, and Pakistan's foreign policy is being viewed with confidence. While both the United States and Iran are in contact with Islamabad at one level or another in order to explore a possible diplomatic path. However, the reality also remains that Iran, in line with its historical policy, is maintaining a strategy of resistance rather than yielding to external pressure, while the United States generally tends to increase pressure first and then move toward negotiations. This contradiction makes the crisis even more complex because on one side there is American political and electoral pressure, while on the other there are Iranian sovereignty and security concerns. At the same time, Israeli military operations are continuing in Lebanon, and border areas, where airstrikes and clashes have further worsened the situation, and the loss of human lives across the region is also increasing. Although it was initially believed that this conflict might reach some form of agreement in the short term, the ground realities indicate that if negotiations fail, this crisis could continue for a prolonged period, although the chances for a diplomatic solution have not yet completely disappeared and appear relatively brighter.